Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. Bit of a later recording today because we've been watching ABIO pretty much all day. But as you can tell, my best day in the market so far, we're up $94.40. So yeah, what a day for me. Took two trades today, both on ABIO, both from a shorting perspective, and there was another really good move. It was actually two good moves as well later on in the day. So ABIO has made this crazy move. Pre-market, we was looking at STAF just briefly, but the market was really dead this morning. It was dead on Monday, it was dead yesterday, and really dead this morning. So I thought it would be another no trade recap day, but ABIO come out with some great news. I think around about 10 o'clock, yeah, around 10 o'clock here, and then it just took off. So it was really good to get that momentum back in the market. It's just what we needed, and as you see here, it made this great move up from the sort of $5 area up to $9. It sold off, it sort of consolidated and just curled round and then made an insane move back up to sort of the 1290 area. And as we speak right now, it's selling off. So great move. Just what we need in the market to get some momentum back. Get the buyers in, get the shorting in as well. So we're going to talk about it in today's video, but. Let me show you just quickly the overall of the two trades. The first one I took was actually here, shorting, got in at 686, out at 660, so lost basically, rounded up, I lost 25.60, so didn't start the day good, but then my next short made $120 on. I got a $1.20 per share gain, and that's why I love shorting. I am looking to long on the way up if I can, but it's quite hard to get into the zone of get into the mentality of I'm going to long this trade and then short it. So because I was looking to short it, I pretty much missed a lot of the long in opportunities, and there's some great momentum there to long, of course, but it's quite difficult for me right now to switch between the two. So when I say I'm going to look to long a stock, I just concentrate on that, and when I look to short stock, I'm just concentrating on that. So yeah, but this is the beauty of shorting, as I was about to say. When I long, I'm only getting 10, 20, 30 cents. 30 cents is a great move, 10 cents is a good move, but it's just a scalp. Whereas shorting, I hold it for longer, but I get more meat off the bone. So yeah, really happy. So yeah, just to show you here. So got in this first trade, really don't like this trade. So what happened was, you see ABIO made this big move, as it got halted, lots of eyes sort of started to come in. You see at 10 o'clock here, made this big move up. I identified some key areas on the daily chart, which I'll show you here, and let me just go maximize. I'll bring this over as always. So I identified some key areas. Sorry if it's a bit messy, but the one area here was this 685. Let me try and zoom in so it's a bit clearer for you guys. So you see here, this candle here, basically looking to play off that. This one here, 685, 685. You see how it become pretty much a bit of a pivot point in the stock. So 685 was an area I was looking to actually get short on it, but I've done this twice now, and this is a really bad thing. So definitely learn from my mistakes here. News has just come out. You see some momentum coming in, and it's the front side of the move. You shouldn't be shorting so early into the move. So yeah, really unhappy with that. And as you see here, that's what I was playing on. So basically what I should have done, if I was going to use 685 as that resistance point, you see how it come up here, it touched that 690, it went to $7.10, but it broke through. But I got in on basically the first try. We should at least have got a touch of basically 690, a fail, a retest, and then looking weak. But it's just been halted. Volume's coming in. It was really strong. So that was just a really bad trade. So really unhappy with that. But really happy with how I played it. Well, not 100% happy, but happy how I played it overall. Because then when all this was happening, it started to hit some other key areas on the daily chart. Once again, I'll bring that over just so you can see. So the areas I was looking at was, the next area was, we've got this 792, which is here, and then basically was up to 941 after that, and then I did mark out some areas on the daily chart, on the 1 minute chart as well. And just to show you here, I marked out more, but to make it cleaner, you just see on this first move here, how these lines on the daily chart pretty much come into play right here. And the reason 940 is highlighted, because that wasn't a daily that was the 200 moving average. So just to see if it got up to there, that would become resistance. But it got resistant at $9 exactly. But you just see how the 609, I marked it as gap fill, so there was a gap in the stock. You see how the 685 kind of come into play today. Well, it did come into play a little bit here, later on in the day there. 724 was just an intraday support area there and there, so I kept that on watch. 792 was off the daily chart, and once again the 200 EMA. So you see how they all come in together. So what happened was, I was just basically waiting for the backside of the move. You see it get massively overextended. This is the 1 minute chart. You see even on the 5 minute chart there, it was just massively getting overextended off the VWAP, the EMAs. So I was just waiting for the backside of the move to come. And that's when I sort of took my opportunity. I should have gotten a better feel. So what happened was, we get this resistance at 9. I'm confident it will get back down to this 609 area, and it obviously didn't. But gaps like to be filled during the day, and that's one thing. We look at areas, especially gaps. Gaps love to be filled during the day, so just keep an eye on them areas. I thought this would actually run down to 609. So what happened was, we get this resistance of $9, and that's when I should have really punched it. I hesitated at $9. I saw it as this, it tested, 1, 2, basically 4 times. That's when I should have got in using a, I could have just used easily a 20-cent, 25-cent stop. That's the beauty about these. I can give myself a bit more of a tighter, sort of a bigger range of risk, because the reward's so much bigger. So what happened was, once it started to fail, I didn't want to chase it 100%, so what I was waiting for was a pop. You see how it basically got this resistance here, it's just starting to slowly bleed, and then it failed to come all the way down to here, around the 810 area. I did chase it a little bit, have to admit. I was waiting for a pop back up to the back up to the 850, the EMA area, but I got trigger happy, because I think I knew, even though this stock was at $8, I kind of had a confidence that it would go down to sort of the $6 area. So I got in too early, but I had an 850 stop, and you see literally here it touched 850. That's where I should have got in. I should have been a bit more patient. I guess it's FOMO of missing the move. Well, the first thing, I should have got in here, and then it would have been perfect. Saw that resistance on the level 2. It's already massively overextended, so it's going to need a pullback, at least to the EMAs, which is down at 850. So that's where I should have got in. When I did get in, really good to handle my patience, because I was already down $25 on the day. I was risking another 25 cents to basically make a $1, so that was 4 to 1. We actually got sort of for 5 to 1 in the end. And then once it couldn't break that 850, you see it just hanged. I got a little bit nervous again, because it hit the VWAP, bounced off the VWAP, and then I basically just, on this instance, I said, well, I'm using, because at this point it's down to 770. I was already up like 50 cents. So I was very, very sort of, I don't really know what words I'm going to use, but I was basically thinking, am I going to miss out here, because this is starting to turn on me? But nevertheless, once it started to go around, I said, well, 850 was my stop. If it's a winner, it's a winner. If it's a loser, it's a loser. But I had confidence that this stock, given the daily history, unlike actually now where it's gone to, given the daily history, you do see, apart from one day, it does make these crazy moves. But you see the long wicks, it gapped up, sold off. It does give back a lot of its gains, apart from this day here. But most of the time, it gives back its gains. You see these long wicks again. So that was sort of, given the history of the chart. The previous history of the stock, given that gap fill area, and gaps need to be filled, you see it all the time. There are the 2 reasons why I stayed in the stock. So I used my 850. Luckily on this test we didn't get back up there, and then once it broke here and it broke VWAP all the way down from 830 down to 750, we're just in the driving seat then. So we broke that intraday resistance, some intraday resistant areas, the 724, but it got down to 785. As I pointed out on the daily, on my other charts. One point was down to 660, but what happened was that 685 just really, it broke, and it was holding here, it was becoming sort of support, it broke, it was coming a bit of resistance, and then it got back up above it. So I thought, well, if it gets it got this candle here basically at 705, and I just set my stop at 705. I said once it curls down, I'll use this pivot point. If it doesn't sell off here like this, then I'll just sell it if it breaks above. And it was really good in the end, because so I got out at 705. Yes, it made a retest of down the 660 area, but then it basically curled, and now you see if I held on to it, I would be in deep trouble. Well, I would have sold it at 850 anyway, but it just shows you that, I mean, this isn't common, to be honest. Most of the time these stocks make these crazy moves up, these $4 moves, you can capture a good profit on the way down. Most time it would have filled back down to that 609 area, that was my target point. But this just had good news, good momentum, and you just see it curled up and made a crazy move. So most of the time they just sell off. So that that was that was my trades. It got a new lease of life. I didn't have it on my charts, but people were telling me that 1290 was the gap fill area. So the gap filled, I haven't got the chart to show you because it doesn't show. I think TC2000 and Thinkorswim doesn't show you because of the reverse bit, but people on like DAS Trader, it does show you. But they said 1290 was gap fill area, and you see this is what happens when it hits gap fill. You either get two things: it either becomes support and it gets a leg up and it carries on, or it basically becomes resistance and it reacts off it and bounces off. And anyone that would have got in at the 1290 at the gap fill, you see it literally touched it there and got a great move down, and now it's starting to curl up. So this is going to be interesting for tomorrow. Definitely going to hopefully look to play it again tomorrow, but really happy with everything overall. The two things I would say that I was disappointed on was my first trade on it. This and the trade I shorted the other day, which I was green on. Basically, lucky because it's the front side of the move. You need to wait for the back side of the move. So not happy with that. I'm not happy with my entry actually, even at 820. I think the reason I knew I could take it was because I felt there was so much range to go still on this stock, a $2 range, that I could capture some of it. But nevertheless, I should have got in. I should have got in on my initial gut feeling at the $9. I should have, if not, I shouldn't have chased it. I should have got in around the 850 area when it was looking to pop back up for that little bounce. But apart from that, really good with how I managed the trade, how I was emotional, or managed my emotions during the trade, and happy overall. And it's always great to get that $1.20 move per share. So that's it, guys. Going to get this ready and uploaded now. See you again tomorrow. Great to have some momentum back in the market, and great to get my biggest win of day trading so far. So see you guys tomorrow. Hope you smashed it. Bye bye.